undefeated. Find out which Point Park program extended their winning streak. February Madness, Point Park basketball takes the court in RSC tournament play. And some breaking news, find out which athlete was involved in a major accident. It's time to come on down to the Pioneer Sideline. Good evening and welcome to the Pioneer Sideline. I'm Taylor Spirito. Tonight we start things off on the hardwood. The River States Conference basketball tournaments tipped off last night. And to catch us up on everything you need to know, we bring in Colton Tobias. Colton, thanks for coming on.
Be back, Taylor.
So let's talk basketball. Let's start with the men's team first. So how is it going into the tournament with them?
Well, Taylor, they were actually watching very closely last night as Asbury and Ohio Christian played each other, but the cards did not turn their way because since Asbury beat Ohio Christian, they're going to have to go to Indiana and play in the quarterfinal round of the RSC playoffs. And the Pioneers did get lucky in the lottery draw in which they drew the first seed in the tournament. So the Pioneers are looking to win tomorrow against Asbury, and then if they do that, they will play right here in the semifinals on Saturday.
Never can complain about a little bit of luck. So let's talk about some of the players on the team. Who are we watching out for in this RSC run? Excuse me.
Well, Taylor, two players that I'm watching out for are Gary McHenry and Jesse Calloway. They are necessarily the leaders of the team. I mean, they are two upperclassmen. I mean, Jesse Calloway is phenomenal from above the arc, and Gary McHenry is a terrific rebounder. I had the chance to interview him for Pioneer Spotlight a few weeks ago. I am really going to be watching in this game tomorrow night if those two are going to step up, because the Pioneers have not beaten the Asbury Eagles since 2015, and they have a 4-game losing streak against them, and they did not play this season. So they're both going to be seeing each other for the first time this season tomorrow, and I'm going to be excited to watch it.
All right, so you said they play them tomorrow, something to really watch out for. But if they advance on from there, when can we see them play next?
Well, they would be right here, Taylor, on Saturday in the semifinals.
All right, let's switch over to the women's team now. How are things going in the RSC tournament for them?
Well, unfortunately, Taylor, their season came to an end yesterday in a 101-75 loss against Oakland City, and they just did not get the lucky draw in the lottery. They got the 8th seed, and then from Pittsburgh, they had to travel to the southwest tip of Indiana to Oakland City, which is one of the farthest schools in the RSC from Pittsburgh. It's just Oakland City got out to a strong run early, and the Pioneers just seem to have momentum time and time again to try to get back into the game, especially halfway in the third quarter when they were only down by 5 points. But Oakland City, just ran away with it, and they're going to be moving on to the next round, and the Pioneers are going to finish with a 6-4 record on the season.
All right, so like you said, their season came to an end. There's some big names on that team that are going to be leaving. So what are some bright spots that you see in the future for the Lady Pioneers?
Well, not so fast, Taylor. I mean, we do not know if seniors such as Carly Lutz and Michelle Burns are going to return, because they do have that extra year of eligibility if they want to use it. So I'm really going to be curious to see if any of those ladies are going to be returning. And if they do, I think that's going to make Coach Grenick and his staff happy, because they don't need to start from scratch, and then they can build off on the momentum that they had this season.
All right, thank you so much, Colton. After the break, our reporters are going to catch you up on everything you need to know with the rest of Point Park athletics. We'll be right back.
All right, so that's all the positions for this show. We can go ahead in the studio and get set up.
Wait, where's Nick and Taylor? I guess they took Start Your Mornings with Us a little too seriously.
Start your morning with us! Only on Daybreak!
Welcome back. The baseball team opened play this weekend, and to catch us up on everything on the diamond, we send it over to Jasmine Schulte. Jasmine, thanks for joining us.
Point Park University Baseball opened its season on Saturday at Battle at the Big League Camp in Marion, North Carolina. The Pioneers faced Cumberland University in the first game on Saturday with a 2-1 victory. In the first game, a solo home run in the top of the 8th hit by Ed Pfluger gave Point Park the 2-1 lead. Ruben Ramirez then got a strikeout and double play to end the game for the Pioneers' first win of the season. Starting this game off, Marco Quintar threw 5 scoreless innings and only gave up 1 hit. His outing included 7 strikeouts and 2 walks. Ramirez secured the win, pitching 3 innings while only giving up 1 run on 4 hits with 2 strikeouts and no walks. The Pioneers scored a run at the top of the 6th and put a score on the board of 1-0. Pfluger, who was 3 for 4, hit a single and later moved to third on an error by the pitcher and scored on Ty Andrews' sacrifice fly. In the second game on Saturday, facing University of Cumberland, the Patriots put 3 runs on the board in the second inning and 8 in the third. The score was 11-1, but the Pioneers scored 3 runs in the 5th inning off Carlos Sanchez's RBI single and 2-run single from Luis Hernandez. The Pioneers had 7 hits with Danilo Leon going 3 for 3 with a walk and Hernandez going 2 for 4 with 3 RBIs. On Sunday, the Pioneers earned another win in their first game of the day, facing University of Northwestern Ohio with a score of 7-6. Point Park then defeated Cumberland University once again for the second game on Sunday with an 8-4 victory. The Pioneers started Christian Negron throwing 4.1 innings and giving up 4 runs on 7 hits. Ruben Ramirez closed the game, allowing just 2 runners on base. In the bottom of the second, Ty Andrews started off the inning with a single, and Emil Murillo moved him to second with a base hit. Alejandro Pelaez reached base on an error that allowed Andrews to score, followed by a sac bunt that advanced runners to second and third. Luis Majica was able to swing a single to center field to bring home both runners and tie the game. In the bottom of the 4th, Roberto Mejia and Pelaez hit back-to-back singles to start the inning, and a base hit followed by two-run double was enough to give the Pioneers a 5-3 lead. A wild pitch brought in another run for Point Park, leaving the score at 6-3, and at the end of the 4th. The Pioneers loaded the bases in the 6th inning and walked 1 more run to secure their 8-4 victory. This weekend, the Pioneers are scheduled to play 5 games in Auburndale, Florida at Lake Myrtle Park. Tune in next week for the latest updates on Point Park baseball.
Thanks, Jasmine. But now we're going to turn things over to the track. And to bring us up to speed, we bring in Natalia Hillen. Natalia, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me, Taylor.
So how was your first conference meet?
My first conference meet was an awesome experience just because, you know, you go in as a freshman not really knowing like what to expect. I was in 5 events, so I was in hurdles, high jump, the open 4, the 200, and the 4x4 relay. So it was a great experience being with the team and, you know, taking a team effort and an individual effort to win.
Awesome. Now, I really don't want to jinx you. Let's knock on wood here. But what's it like knowing that you're part of the legacy of the women's team that has yet to lose an indoor championship? Again, knock on wood.
It was an awesome experience because, you know, knowing that they won last year, we had to kind of raise up to that level, the same level that they did last year. So knowing going in this year, I just was going to try my best, and, you know, we came up at the top again, which was awesome.
So we always have to ask, Alyssa Campbell, she comes in and has 6 events, and not only did she win 3 of them, but got all conference in all 6. So what's it like to have such a strong talent to run along with?
It's awesome watching her run because she puts her heart into every race, and I definitely look up to her because she goes in with a clear mind, an open mind, ready to run her best every single race. So it's awesome running with Alyssa.
All right, let's move things over to the men's team because they also ran over the weekend. How did it go for them?
So the men's team won the first place overall, just as the women did. And a lot of them, ran their hearts out, really jumped their best, and it was awesome watching everyone try their best that day.
So 17 all-conference members and 8 wins on the day for them, but all 7 individuals and 13 of the all-RSC were new to the team. How much does that say about the freshman class, about your class?
It shows that we all have a lot of talent to offer, and we really try our best at practice. We push ourselves to the limit, and we're ready for the outdoor season to come this spring.
All right, so what's next for the track programs?
So what's next is our outdoor season, and we're going to try our best at every meet and put our hearts out of the practice.
All right, thank you so much, Natalia, and of course, good luck. When we come back, I'll catch you up on everything you need to know on everything regional and national. Don't go anywhere.
It's really important in this day of age because fields are so competitive, especially with what we're all going into, whether it's communications, business, and you definitely need to know how to sell yourself. They always talk.
Alright, so that's all the positions for this show. We can go ahead in the studio and get set up.
Wait, where's Nick and Taylor?
I guess they took Start Your Mornings with Us a little too seriously.
Start your morning with us! Only on Daybreak!
Welcome back. To start national news, we have a breaking story. Eldrick Tiger Woods was involved in a single vehicle accident earlier today. The cause is currently under investigation. Preliminary reports state that he was removed from the vehicle with the jaws of life. The injuries are reportedly non-life-threatening, but he was in surgery for multiple leg injuries. Continuing on to the NHL, the Lake Tahoe games have come and gone. The biggest takeaway was the views, mountains in the background and beautiful trees. It really was something to behold, but there was one problem with the day game on Saturday: the sun. The puck dropped at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, noon local time, but after the first period, the ice was melting, which resulted in a delay till midnight Eastern. Night hockey is great and all, but the delay, not so much. Thus, the Sunday game being delayed until 7:30 Eastern Time to avoid any of these issues. The Avalanche topped the Golden Knights Saturday by a score of 3-2. And Sunday, the Bruins defeated the Flyers by the score of 7-3. After the break, we debate. We'll be back. Welcome back to Sideline. It's time for everyone's favorite segment, the Case of the Week. Pitchers and catchers have reported, so today we have our own too early predictions for the season. I'm joined by Ben Tenuta, Colton Tobias, and Joey Bova. So let's go through all of the divisions and give our picks, give our reasonings, what have you. So let's start with the Centrals. NL first. Who wants to go?
I can go first. I have the Cardinals for the NL Central. I mean, they have Paul Goldschmidt and Matt Carpenter both on the corners. They just picked up Nolan Arenado for pretty much nothing. So I think they might take it this year.
See, I got the Brewers. I'm really liking their team, and after last season, they seem like they look pretty impressive. So I'm going with them.
I also have the Brewers for pretty much the exact same reason. Not much of an explanation on that one.
Yeah.
I'm with Mr. Bova. I got St. Louis, and then in the AL, the White Sox.
Ooh, I have the Twins this year.
Same,
I
Twins.
think Josh Donaldson was in the MVP running last year, so I think he might have another one of those seasons this year.
So this is the only one that I'm going to let myself be biased toward. I want it to be the Indians. Actually, I want it to be the Tigers, but that's probably not going to happen for a very long time, as biased as I am. So I'm going to give it to the Indians. I want them to have it. It's not going to happen, but yeah.
Anything's possible.
Honestly, they deserve it, but that's just me being biased again. Let's move into the East. Let's go NL first again.
All right, NL East, I have the Braves this year. The Braves went off last year. They have Ronald Acuna. He's a machine at the bat. He's also a machine on the field. I mean, he's the carrier. They also have Freddie Freeman, who just won MVP. So I think those two. Those are my main picks. They're crazy.
I'm going to have to agree with you on that one. I'm really liking the Braves.
I don't think we have much debate on this one. I'm picking Atlanta too, just because of the consistency that they have had over the years. Oh, and AL, I got the Rays.
Interesting. I also have the Braves. But for the AL, what do you guys have?
Yankees are second.
I got my New York Yankees for number one.
I also got Yankees.
It can go up either way, Yankees or Rays. I mean, both teams were successful last year, and I think they're going to continue that. But Yankees always fold under pressure in the playoffs. So
I mean, at this point, it's just how long is it going to take for Aaron Judge to get his championship?
That's what I'm saying. I mean, I think Aaron Judge is going to have a blowout year this year. Giancarlo Stanton hopefully doesn't have any injuries this year, so I think he'll do pretty good. They just picked up Jameson Taillon from the Pirates. I think he'll have a pretty crazy year coming out of the Pirates organization. And just like their whole infield and outfield rotation and their pitching is ridiculous. I don't understand how they keep losing.
If I could chime in, it's just for the past 10 years, the Yankees have just been nothing but letting you down, especially for their fans, which have, I guess, considered being a contender, losing seasons but never making it to the World Series. I think that is a disappointment for their fans, and I just feel like it's just going to continue.
I just think we got a little jibs whenever the Astros cheated, but not going to talk about that.
I mean, we could talk about it, but we've got limited time here. But it kind of reminds me, them, constantly disappointing. It reminds me of the Dodgers constantly making the World Series and then never winning, which is who I have for the NL West. I think it's going to be very, very close, Dodgers and Padres, because the Padres have stacked themselves up this offseason. But I don't think that we're at the point where we can count the Dodgers out in any capacity.
Most definitely. I mean, I have the Astros, but after last season, Dodgers look pretty impressive, and
Astros for the West, definitely.
Yeah.
Actually, for the West, I got Oakland again, and for the West, I'm gonna have to say the Padres very close, but I think the Dodgers are still gonna get in as a wild card, and I think that the Dodgers are gonna go to the World Series as a wild card team.
All right.
I have the same picks as you, Cole, and I got Oakland and the Padres. I just think the Padres, their rotation this year, they picked up Snell from Tampa. They have Joe Musgrove that came from Pittsburgh, and Yu Darvish, ace pitchers. Fernando Tatis just signed 14 years. They're relying on him to really pull through, so I think he might take them.
I totally agree. Padres looked fantastic last season. I think they're going to continue with that success.
And they have a playoff drought of their own. They have not made the World Series since, I think, '98 when they lost to the Yankees.
Yeah.
Real quick, because we are in Pittsburgh, how long do you think it's going to be before the Pirates eventually make the playoffs or the World Series?
Never.
Okay.
If I'm going to be 100% honest, I don't think we're going to make the playoffs for a long, long time.
Not even like 5 years when they say that like the Pirates are just going to be getting prospects and then maybe having that good core like they had in 13, 14 and 15.
No, just the team that we have now isn't as special as we had in 13 and 14. I mean, we have young rookies that are really good. Brian Hayes is really good. I mean, Cole Tucker isn't a rookie anymore, but he came out of the prospects out of Altoona. He's been doing pretty good. I mean, we have those like veteran pieces like Colin Moran. I mean, he doesn't always produce, and our pitching is atrocious. I just think we need to try and do something, either management issues, try and find some more trades. Hopefully we already have the first pick this year. Hopefully we can get another one.
And they're starting from scratch with a new president and a new GM who are going into their second season this year.
Which I think they should. They got to start fresh. New management, and I'm gonna have hope for the next 5 years. But I'm not gonna lie, I'm beginning to get scared that I'm not gonna see a Pirates World Series win in my lifetime. So.
Yeah. I mean, at least our fathers. I mean, or at least our fathers and our grandfathers, and our mothers and our grandmothers.
Yeah, what the heck, Colton? Anyway, you already mentioned it. Dodgers in the World Series. Way too early predictions. Who's going to make it?
Yankees,
win it,
Padres.
or win it.
I want to say Yankees because they're my favorite team, but the Padres will probably win the World Series this year, whether or not it's with the Yankees.
I'm thinking Yankees, and I think the Dodgers are going to sneak back in. Even though Padres is going to win the division, they're going to go ahead and go back to back.
I agree with Ben.
2020 rematch Dodgers in Tampa.
Ooh. All right, interesting.
That's bold.
Well, hopefully we can come back toward the end of the semester and maybe touch on this a little bit more. But thank you all for joining me in here. And thank you all for joining us at home once again. That's all we have time for this week. Be sure to join us next week at the same Pioneer time, the same Pioneer channel, and of course, the same Pioneer Sideline.